The apothecary business in the 18th century is not really equivalent to anything we have here in the United States now. It's really a business that is going to combine medical labor. If you were living in a bigger urban area with more potential customers, you would divide medicine into three categories. There's the practice of physic, which is where you get the word physician. And the physician is going to exclusively diagnose and prescribe treatment for diseases and nothing else. Then there's the practice of surgery. In our modern world, we tend to think of surgery as doing some form of operation. But the word surgery is actually coming from the ancient Greek language, and it translates as handwork. Anytime you use your hands to do medical work on your body, it's surgery. So brushing your teeth is surgery. You're also going to need medicine in order to practice either physic or surgery, and that would be the practice of pharmacy. But we don't call anyone a pharmacist at this point. We're using the term druggist typically, someone who's making and selling medicines. Well, apothecaries are making and selling medicines, but they're also diagnosing and prescribing treatment. And many of these men are also doing surgery. In order to train to be an apothecary, you would typically train as an apprentice. So an apprentice could certainly be working here, but that apprentice would be a man or a young boy. So the medications that we are working with are basically imports. You are in the middle of an agricultural area here. People will have gardens, they will grow plants, and they will know how to use them to make medicine. Many of these are things you're growing for food purposes. Mint is good for a stomachache. You can make cough medicine with turnips. You don't have to buy everything you use. Because you're growing it, you're not buying it, so we're not selling it. We end up working with things that we get from Great Britain, and they're collecting from all over the world. Now, some of these are going to still be simple and everyday products. Here, for example, I have a lozenge for heartburn. It's made with chalk and oyster shell. Chalk and oyster shell are both forms of calcium carbonate, which is what we use to make antacids with today. Some of these materials will be exotic. Here I have camphorated oil. Today we have camphor in deep heating rub, in medicines for the lips. It's in all kinds of products, but most of the camphor we use today is synthetic. In the 18th century, they're getting their camphor all the way from Japan. Overall, the most likely type of medicine for you to buy will be a laxative. To purge the body during the course of illness was the most common thing recommended. And if we're not purging you downwardly, there's a good chance we're purging you upwardly. So emetics. And in that case, I can tell you Ipecac is one of the more common substances. The medications we're preparing in the 18th century are based on standard recipes that are published in official books. The books are going to be published through the major medical centers of Europe. So we're talking about either the Royal College of Physicians in London or Edinburgh. This is a copy of the new dispensatory that was published in 1753. And that is going to be the source of the recipes that we use because we know that the doctors owned and used this book. These recipes are for making medicines in big batches, and that's what's up here in the jars behind me. It would be made, it would be stored, and now it's ready to dispense and use immediately. In terms of common illnesses, we can make some educated guesses. Things that we are frequently suffering from, like colds and flus, were probably just as common in the 18th century. But beyond that, we have to make some guesses based on living conditions, the way people were living, the kind of weather that we have here, the type of population that's here. So we're going to assume that because there is a lack of sanitation, diarrhea, dysentery, intestinal parasites, these are all going to be frequent occurrences. Dr. William Pasteur and Dr. John Galt, the gentlemen of this shop, were doing it all. They were the true general practitioners of the time period.